What happens when America's sweetheart Kelly Clarkson finds herself in the most explosive interview of her career? What began as an ordinary Today Show appearance spiraled into live television chaos so raw and so uncomfortable that fans are still talking about it. Kelly Clarkson, known for her powerhouse vocals, her warmth, and her unshakable authenticity, walked onto the set that morning to promote her brand new album. What she didn't know was that within 20 minutes, she'd be walking right back off, leaving Craig Melvin speechless, the studio in shock, and the internet ablaze. The morning began in typical fashion at NBC's New York studios. Producers were calm, crew members cracked quiet jokes as they adjusted cameras and sound, makeup artists added last-minute touch-ups. Everyone expected another light, upbeat, feel-good segment. Kelly had been on the Today Show countless times before. She was practically family to the morning audience. When she arrived, the energy lifted instantly. She hugged stagehands, asked about people's kids, and even teased a camera operator she recognized from previous appearances. Kelly Clarkson wasn't just a guest, she was a presence, the kind that made the room feel brighter. Craig Melvin was ready too. He had his cards, his practiced smile, his usual easy charm. Their chat was scheduled for 8 minutes, a quick discussion of Kelly's new album, her talk show, her upcoming tour. Nothing out of the ordinary. At least, that's what everyone thought. The lights came up, the cameras rolled. Craig welcomed her with that trademark Today Show warmth. "Kelly, it's always such a joy to have you here," he began, highlighting her accomplishments. Kelly smiled wide, relaxed. She dove into the story of her album, how her life experiences shaped the songs, how the writing process had been therapeutic. She was animated, expressive, exactly the Kelly fans adore. Craig chimed in with thoughtful questions about her creative process, and for the first few minutes, it was smooth sailing. Then Craig leaned forward, his tone shifting just slightly. "Your fans love your music," he said, "but they're also curious about you. You've been very open about your divorce in the past. How are you doing now? And are you seeing anyone special?" The question seemed casual, but Kelly's smile froze for a split second. A pause, just enough to be noticeable. She responded carefully, keeping her voice warm. "I'm in a really good place right now. I'm focused on my kids, my career, and just taking life one day at a time." It was a graceful deflection, what seasoned celebrities do when a line is crossed, but Craig didn't move on. Instead, he pressed. "That's great to hear. But there have been some rumors about you and a certain someone. Any truth to that?" The air changed instantly. Kelly's eyes narrowed slightly, though her tone stayed even. "I prefer to keep my private life private, Craig. I think my fans understand and respect that boundary." The tension was subtle, but real. Crew members behind the cameras exchanged wary looks. This was not the feel-good fluff they'd expected. For most interviewers, that would have been a signal to pivot back to safer territory, but Craig doubled down. "Your fans love seeing you happy, Kelly," he said. "Surely you can give us just a hint of what makes you happiest these days outside of work." That was the spark. Kelly straightened in her chair. Her smile faded. Her voice sharpened. "What makes me happy," she said firmly, "is being able to come on shows like this and talk about my music without having every detail of my personal life turned into entertainment." The room froze. The crew felt it. Viewers at home, though they couldn't see the studio tension, felt the energy shift. Craig tried to laugh it off, but the moment was slipping through his fingers. He tried again. "Kelly, I think you might be reading too much into this. We're just having a friendly conversation. People tune in because they care about you, not just as an artist, but as a person." Kelly's expression hardened. "And I appreciate that," she replied. "But caring doesn't mean entitlement. There's a line, Craig, and you just crossed it." Her tone, calm but cutting, was unlike anything her fans had ever seen from her on live TV. Craig, instead of stepping back, pushed further. "You've been open in the past about your struggles. So why is this suddenly off limits? This is what comes with being in the public eye." That's when Kelly snapped. Her composure cracked, revealing something raw beneath. "What I signed up for?" she said, her voice trembling with anger and conviction. was to share my art, to talk about my career. I didn't sign up to justify my private life or provide gossip for entertainment. Her voice grew stronger with each word. You want to know what I'm hiding? I'm hiding the fact that sometimes I cry in my car after interviews like this because I feel like I can't win. If I share too much, people say I'm desperate for attention. If I stay private, people accuse me of hiding something. I'm hiding the fact that my kids ask why strangers think they have a right to comment on our lives. That's what I'm hiding. The studio was silent. Several crew members looked down, uncomfortable. Craig's smile had completely vanished. He tried to recover, stammering, "Kelly, I didn't mean..." But she cut him off. "No, Craig, you meant exactly what you did. You wanted a moment, something juicy. Well, congratulations, you got it. But you also lost my respect." And with that, Kelly unclipped her mic, stood up, and walked off the set. Craig was left sitting there, pale, stunned, still under the bright studio lights. For several seconds, he said nothing. The cameras kept rolling, capturing his visible panic as he realized what had just happened. On live television, no less. The control room scrambled. Do they cut to commercial? Do they let it play out? Producers whispered frantically into headsets. The crew stared in disbelief. And at home, millions of viewers watched Kelly Clarkson, America's sweetheart, walk away from the Today Show, not as a diva move, but as a powerful act of self-respect. The fallout was instant. Within minutes, clips hit social media. Twitter lit up. Fans split into camps, some furious at Craig for crossing the line, others debating whether Kelly had overreacted. Hashtags trended worldwide. Behind the scenes, NBC executives rushed to do damage control. Statements were drafted, apologies were considered, and Creig Melvin, a respected journalist, suddenly found himself at the center of a storm he hadn't anticipated. But the bigger conversation wasn't about Craig, it was about Kelly's stand, about the pressure on celebrities to bare their souls, whether they want to or not, about how fame blurs the line between public and private until nothing feels sacred. Kelly had turned what could have been another forgettable morning promo into a cultural flashpoint, a reminder that even the most famous among us are human and that boundaries matter. So now the question is this: what really pushed Kelly Clarkson over the edge? Was it Craig's persistence, his dismissive attitude, or something deeper? Our culture's obsession with consuming every piece of a celebrity's life as if they owe it to us? One thing is certain. This confrontation won't be forgotten anytime soon. It will be studied, dissected, and debated as one of the most unforgettable moments in live television history. And Kelly Clarkson? She walked out with her dignity intact. Now, what do you think? Did Craig cross the line, or was Kelly too sensitive? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, because this one is far from over.